Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. I hope you're doing great wherever you may find yourselves. Blessings to all of you wonderful people out there. Today is yet again another episode in my top 10, counting down my top 10 favorite live album discographies of all time. Last episode, number 6, was a progressive rock artist. Today is the same, number 5. So slot number 5, rank number 5, let's go ahead and get started. A lot of live releases from this particular band from Canada. I know you know who I'm talking about now. Of course, I'm talking about Rush. 1976, All the World's a Stage. Hands down for me, one of the best live recordings of all time. Only 10 tracks, but what a great, glorious recording. Of course, 2112 is not its in entirety. It's just shy of 16 minutes, but you have 5 sections here, not all 7. So the track listing is deceptive with respect to the length of the album because you do have a hefty or lengthy song here. Bastille Day is wonderful, as well as Anthem, a song they haven't played in God knows how long, but it's a song I still love despite the lyrics are a bit dated. And I guess that's probably why they stopped playing it because Pert stopped being a Rand enthusiast at some point. Then you get the 2-for-1 song, Fly By Night / In the Mood. By the way, I'm not going to go through every song because there's a lot here, but just talk about, some great things here with respect to each album. Something for Nothing's very good. In some cases, I will talk about the whole tracks, but not all of them. Lakeside Park is a nice treat to have here. And then we get into the abridged version of 2112, which I think is dynamite. And then my favorite track here is By Torn the Snow Dog because it's stretched to almost 12 minutes long. And you have the very atmospheric and ethereal moment in the middle, which is letting you know about the upcoming battle between good and evil. It's kind of like the descent into hell or rising out of hell because the two foes will meet in the middle, so to speak. It's wonderful, of course. Lyson imitating Page with the bowstring across the guitar or doing an effects setup to echo or imitate or mimic. That doesn't sound exactly like Dazed and Confused, but it has its moments where it definitely resonates that vibe. Then a wonderful cover version of In the End, where before it gets into the heavy part, because it's a Light and Shade song, Geddy sings 1, 2, Buckle My Shoe, and perhaps foreshadowing Exit Stage Left, where he, on La Via Strangiato, does another nursery rhyme type thing, brief as it is. Then you get the wonderful 9th track, Working Man / Finding My Way, which is almost 15 minutes long, that duo of a song or track, and then closing out with the heavier version compared to the debut of What You're Doing, although that's heavy too. What a great album, and I think it's perfect. It's a perfect track listing for where they are in their time period. And in addition, well, I say this is not perfect because nothing is. I would have loved some tastes from Caress of Steel here, but anyway, some flavoring, a little sprinkling of things from Caress of Steel, like the jam session from the Necromancer and maybe Bacchus Plateau from Fountain of Lamneth and be done with it. But the ending is just so heavy with the versions of Working Man, Finding My Way, and What You're Doing, produced by Rush and Terry Brown. Great album. Staying in 1976, you get Live at the Capitol Theater, only 6 songs, which comes from the 2112 reissue, 40th anniversary, and the 6 songs are only Bastille Day, Anthem, Lakeside Park, but you do have 2112, Fly By Night, and In the Mood. It's not great, it's not great, but it's very good. It's worth having, so I highly suggest getting this. And then sticking with reissues, Disc 2 and 3 of the Farewell to Kings box set, Live at the Hammersmith Odeon, February 20th, 1978. Bastille Day, Lakeside Park, By Torn the Snow Dog, Xanadu, Farewell to Kings, Something for Nothing, Cygnus X1 Live is great. Anthem, Side 2, or Disc 2 rather, Closer to the Heart, 2112, Working Man, Fly By Night, In the Mood, Drum Solo, Cinderella Man. And part of this was on the different stages. Let me pull it out here. CD when it came out, but it's not here. It's not the entire set. And when I had the hype sticker on here when I first got it, it said something to the effect that this was the long-awaited holy grail of Rush, early Rush live recordings. It's very good. I'll say that. It's approaching great. I'm not sure if my holy grail is coming up later, and I think you know what it is. All right, but it's very good. This treat from 1978, February 20th. Let's see. Okay, next is Hemispheres in Concert. This is, I guess, a bootleg or unofficial release. You have the iconic cover that's been made into many a t-shirt. I have the t-shirt, shower curtains, posters, you name it, buttons, jackets. Yes. So November 1978, riding the waves of this in February. And I lost my place. Sorry. Yes. So what you have here is you start off with Anthem, Passage to Bangkok, By Tor and the Snow Dog, Xanadu, The Trees, Cygnus X1, Hemispheres in its entirety, 19 minutes. Closer to the Heart, Something for Nothing, and then Disc 2 is Circumstances, 2112. A Farewell to Kings live is great. La Via Strangiato, over 10 minutes, so it's stretched a little bit. And then you get the medley of Working Man, Bastille Day, In the Mood, and drum solo, 13 minutes and 3 seconds, despite being a bootleg. This is wonderful to have. Again, Hemispheres in Concert. And not, well, oh, here's what I wanted to say. Some of this ends up on here, but not all of it. So if you want to hear the full set, you need to get this, which I think is still in print, but it is also partly here. The songs are just 2112. That's all you get in its entirety, unfortunately. But you still have this. And since I have this out, this is worth having too, the Hemispheres reissue of 2 discs, because you get live at the Pink Pop Festival, June 4th, 1979. You get a Passage to Bangkok, Xanadu, The Trees, Cygnus X1, Book 2, Hemispheres, The Sphere, A Kind of Dream, Closer to the Heart, La Via Strangiato, In the Mood, drum solo, and then closing out with Something for Nothing. If you've ever seen the La Via Strangiato video clip of the Pink Pop Festival, you finally get it now on disc, and it's worth having because it's one of the, for me, top 3 versions of the song live, top 4 versions of the song live. And it's kind of funny because at the beginning of the video, they show the crowd and they got the 2112 flag someone made, or banner rather, and they're and Pert's commenting as well as Alex is on his little boo-boo on his finger and how it canceled 3 tour dates, and I kind of think it's funny. So yeah, this is worth having, especially for the La Via Strangiato version here is wonderful. Pink Pop Festival 1979. Next is the Permanent Waves World Tour, which is disc 2 here. Not a full length. It's I guess it is a full length concert. It's live in Manchester and live in London combined. So it's kind of an anthology of songs, not from one show. But what you get is Beneath, Between, and Behind, By Tor and the Snow Dog, Xanadu, The Spirit of Radio, Natural Science, The Trees, both versions of Cygnus X1. So X1 and X1 live in London. Cygnus X1, Book 1 live in London, and then Cygnus X1, Book 2 live in London as well. So it's a nice treat to have both of these songs live back to back. Closer to the Heart, Jacob's Ladder, and then ending with Free Will. A must-own if you ask me. All right. Then, of course, Exit Stage Left. I've spoken so many times about this. Let me just say this, that despite its flaws, where each song fades out instead of just having it flow into one song into the other to get the true live experience, it's still a great CD. It's still a great show or anthology of collection of songs to make it into a show, if you will. It is missing A Farewell to Kings. I'm not sure why they didn't play that live during this time, since it's a culmination because of the album cover representing each album, and it does represent each album, but I thought that would be a staple of this tour. It was not, apparently. But this is a must-own, if you ask me, especially because of the version of La Via Strangiato, which is my favorite of all time, which I've just recently spoken about yet again in my video about are these the 2 best prog rock songs of all time. All right, again, produced by Terry Brown, a must-own live version. The problem with this, as many people complained, is that it's not the full set list. Well, if you were like me and you chased down a bootleg version of the full set list, you got this, recorded 6/16/81, Convention Center, Anaheim, California. The full set list, so you have things like the Prelude to Hemispheres, the Camera Eye, which is not on here, a drum solo, let's see, Natural Science, Working Man, Hemispheres Armageddon, By Torn the Snow Dog, although abridged, In the End, abridged, In the Mood, abridged, 2112 Grand Finale, and then, of course, La Via Strangiato to close things out. So yeah, this is a bootleg, but of course, eventually reason and logic prevailed, and we get Live in YYZ, the full show, including all the songs I just mentioned for both Exit Stage Left and that bootleg. And essentially what you have is track 7 is the medley of Working Man, Cygnus X1, Book 1, Hemispheres, Armageddon, The Battle of Heart and Mind, By Torn the Snow Dog, In the End, In the Mood, 2112 Grand Finale, and then a separate track, La Via Strangiato. If you have this on vinyl like I do, it's great because it's like 6 sides, so it's 6 or 8. I think it's 4 LPs, so it's 8 sides, excuse me. And the last side, side 8, is just La Via Strangiato on its own, so I'm sure it sounds amazing on vinyl because it's just 1 track. I've never listened to it. I bought it as a collector's item in the hopes of one day listening to it on vinyl, but I've not pulled the trigger yet on a stereo yet for vinyl. Anyway, this is glorious to have because, again, like I said, you get the you get the full show, the complete show that we wanted when this came out, and the bootleg, while okay, the production isn't that great. Production here is fabulous, and La Via Strangiato here is my second favorite version compared to Exit Stage Left. It's a different show, but it is very close to the Exit Stage Left version. Everything here is wonderful. I'm so glad I have this in my collection. If you've not purchased this yet and you're a Rush fan, this is a must-own. So, all right. Next is not a great CD, but it's worth having, the 1984 Grace Under Pressure tour. And I'm not a big fan of medleys, but I like the medley here. As I mentioned, here it's okay. Towards the end of the album, you get a medley of YYZ, Temples of Syrinx, and Tom Sawyer. I don't know why they did that. And then Vital Signs in its entirety. Then another medley of Finding My Way / In the Mood, which again is okay. It's a little lackluster, but it is definitely worth having, folks. All right. Now I'm jumping ahead to different stages. Oops. Jumping ahead to different stages, and might as well pull it out. And as I said, you get part of the Hammersmith Odeon show here in disc 3, but it's not its entirety. It is, of course, as I showed you earlier, where in that collection, so you can get it. Now, really cool photo of the band in this middle photo in black and white. Really love that. Now, the set list is pretty damn good. They have 2112 in its entirety. You have some songs on here that they never released on a live album before, like this is the Test for Echo tour. You have Driven, Bravado, Animate, Show Don't Tell, Nobody's Hero. Test for Echo is great here live. Analog Kid, never on a live album before. Roll the Bones, could do without that though. Stick It Out, Resist is really good. Leave That Thing Alone, The Rhythm Method. Those 2 songs are great. Opens with Dreamline, excuse me, then Limelight. So Limelight's earlier in the set. Now, what I meant to say was that I am not presenting a show of hands because that's not a worthwhile CD for me. Originally, I was going to name this miniseries, the best live album runs, but because I omitted Show of Hands and other things from other bands and artists, I decided to go with Discographies. It makes more sense. So yeah, this is worth having. 1998. All right. This is when, let me say this is when Rush was still putting out a live album after every 4 studio albums, and then they, starting with the next one, was starting to put out live albums more frequently. So you get 2003 Live in Rio, a 3 CD set. The first 3D set, Different Stages was a 3 CD set, but this is the first 3D live album set where the disc 3 is the continuation of the same show. So it's not like excerpts from a different show. This is Live in Rio, hokey album cover. It's the Vapor Trails tour. And you have some songs in here like Distant Early Warning, New World Man, that are great to have live. Earthshine, The Past I can do without. Bravado's here, good. The Big Money I can do without. Natural Science is here. They started putting that out in their live shows again, doing that again in their live shows, I mean. One Little Victory, Driven, Ghost Rider, Secret Touch, Dreamline, O Batterista, which is a short, I believe, instrumental, Resist, 2112. Disc 3 is the best part of the show. Limelight, La Via, The Spirit of Radio by Torn the Snow Dog / Cygnus X1, so they're not complete. And then closing out with Working Man. And then you get 2 board bootlegs, Between Sun and Moon and Vital Signs, recorded by James Jimbo Barton, mixed by James Jimbo Barton and Alex Lifeson. And he and Alex do a great job. This is a wonderful live set. Next is R30, 2005, including the DVDs. So you get 2 DVDs and 2 CDs here, and the track listings are the same. You get the R30 Overture, Finding My Way, Anthem, Bastille Day, Passage to Bangkok, Cygnus X1, Hemispheres, The Spirit of Radio, other songs, Force 10, Subdivisions, Red Barchetta, Roll the Bones, The Seeker, so they do a cover. Between the Wheels is great here. Heart Full of Soul, another cover from Feedback. Summertime Blues, Crossroads, some more stuff that is from the Feedback, and then closing out with Limelight. And there's some stuff from the Anthem Vault on the DVD. So this is yet again worth having. Snakes and Arrows Live, 2008. You have a wonderful version of, let me see if I find it here. I know it's here. Well, I'm not seeing it. Red Barchetta, they played, I saw this tour live, and they played Red Barchetta. And it was cool because, unless I've got things wrong, maybe it's a different recording, but there's one time when I saw them, they played Red Barchetta. It's the Time Machine tour. They played Red Barchetta, and instead of a guitar solo is a bass solo. Anyway, so this is wonderful. They open with Limelight here, which is again nice because usually they would wait till later to do that. Digital Man is great here from Signals. You got Entree New live here. Mission is okay. The Main Monkey Business, The Larger Bowl. Secret Touch is back. Circumstances is back. It's here live in their live show. Between the Wheels, always a great live treat to have. Dreamline, Far Cry, Working Them Angels, Armor and Sword, Spindrift, The Way the Wind Blows. So they're doing the new album here, part of it. Then Subdivisions is great here. Natural Science, back again. Witch Hunt, Malignant Narcissism, Hope, Distant Early Warning, The Spirit of Radio, Tom Sawyer. And then the encore is great. One Little Victory, Passage to Bangkok, and ending with YYZ. Next, the Time Machine tour, opening up with The Spirit of Radio. You have Presto here live, which is cool. Working Them Angels, Leave That Thing Alone. Faithless, Be You To Be, which is on their upcoming album, but they had, recorded already, as they did with some Signal songs when they were touring for Exit Stage Left, I believe. You have Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta, YYZ, Limelight to close out disc 1. You have the Camera Eye. Anytime you have Camera Eye live is great. Of course, you have What's great about this is you have moving pictures in its entirety. You have to mention that. Witch Hunt and Vital Signs, Caravan up on the upcoming album. Closer to the Heart, 2112 Overture, Temples of Syrinx, Far Cry, La Via, another version of that, and ending with Working Man, fabulous CD, a trip through time, if you will. Of course, Getty says live, not literally. I saw them for both of these tours here in New Orleans. And in second to last, penultimate track, live album is Clockwork Angels. Have this on Blu-ray as well. They open with Subdivisions. You get the big money, don't care for that. And you have Force 10, Grand Designs. So you have a lot of songs here that are unexpected. So if you like the 80s stuff, there's some of that there. The 80s stuff that they do here is much better than Show of Hands. It just sounds better. Even though I'm not a big fan of the big money in Force 10, I don't mind it here. Grand Designs is not a bad song. The Body Electric is great. Territories. So you got quite a few songs from Power Windows. Analog Kid is back. Bravado is back. Where's My Thing / Here It Is, a drum solo. Far Cry is back. Caravan is here. Clockwork Angels, The Anarchist, Carnies, The Wreckers, Headlong Flight, and a drum solo. Love Headlong Flight. 7 Cities of Gold, Wish Them Well, and then The Garden. So you have a lot of songs from their last album, hence the title of the album, of course. And then disc 3, you have Dreamline, then a drum solo, Red Sector A, YYZ, Spirit of Radio, then the Encore, Tom Sawyer, and 2112, and then some bonus songs. This is so worth having. I love the Clockwork Angels string ensemble, especially the pretty redhead with the glitter and the sequins glued to her face. The cello player, did I say violin? She's beautiful, and her playing is beautiful as well. I can't remember her name, but yes, this is fabulous. And then finally, R40, also 3 discs and a Blu-ray set. The Anarchist, Headlong Flight, Far Cry, The Main Monkey Business, to name a few. How It Is here, which is a nice treat. Subdivisions, Losing It with Ben Mink is here. It's great. Tom Sawyer, YYZ, The Spirit of Radio. Natural Science is back. Jacob's Ladder is back. It's great. Some Hemisphere stuff. 661, Book 1. One Little Victory, What You're Doing / Working Man, Lakeside Park, and Anthem. So Anthem is back, finally. And you have some bonus tracks. This is wonderful to have in your collection. So there you have it, folks. This is my 5th favorite live album discography of all time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time for episode 4. Bye now.